Week 3 of the Simulation Football League continues this evening from the Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas, as the Fort Worth Toros play host to the Houston Headhunters. Good evening, everybody. I am Mike Daggs, and with me in the booth is Gerald Smith, our stats crew tonight, Ron Haynes and Rochelle Colston, along with our commissioner and producer, Cameron Irvine. You are watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Gerald, we've got a South Division showdown tonight.
Yep, and while I was waiting you to take the supersonic jet from Baltimore to get here, I had some nice brisket and everything else. I wait for you to get here, but these are two teams that typically kind of are in the thick of things at some point during the season for the South Division.
Yeah. Did you save any of the brisket, or is it just...
Absolutely not. You took too long.
You're a real team player. All right, well, Fort Worth, we'll start with the football. And listen, we're in Fort Worth. You know the concession stands have brisket in them.
Yeah, but you're filled up on bird that you cooked earlier in the day.
We did cook up some bird, didn't we? All right, let's move on. We got a game here. Houston's got the ball teed up, ready to kick off, and we are underway here from Fort Worth. Kick goes 9 yards deep into the end zone, and that is where it will be kneeled down. Eric Price will bring the ball out onto the field at the 20-yard line for the Toros. The offense joining Eric Price is halfbacks Jet Zero and Jay-Z Bacon, the fullback Aaron Alexander, the wide receivers Henry McGee, Hunter Jacob, Nick Ritchie, and Stephen Hacker, the tight end Robert Garrett Jr. It's my lack of brisket. I choked on a vulture bone, sorry. 1st and 10 from the 20. Price back to pass. Rolls out to the right, throws back to the left. That one's caught by the Cowboy. Robert Garrett Jr. picks up 8. 2nd and 2.
Yeah, and what a way for the Price to kind of roll out and kind of throw back, and he's going for something a little bit short. Looked like he may have been just trying to get rid of it, but Cowboy able to get the defender off of his heels and pick up roughly 8.
Duke LaRue, Emilio Panda, and Jaleel LaRue on the offensive line here for the Toros. Ball is handed off to Zero, who gains 0. Officially -1 on that run. 3rd down and 3. And Gerald, the Toros had a really rough outing in week 1, looking to rebound here in week 3.
Yeah, look, and they play better at home, and it's been a couple weeks now since they actually had that loss, so I'm pretty sure that's long in the review.
This one going down to Bacon, immediately wrapped up and tackled. No gain on the play, and a quick 3 and out for the Toros. Chris Henry with the tackle. And Gerald, I know you got a good look at this Houston defense last week with Juan Mississippi as your defensive player of the week, but there was plenty to be excited about on this Houston defensive squad.
Yeah, look, and they actually had it. Like, all their linebackers played really, really good with Jason Peace, along with Juan Mississippi and everything else. And as you saw in that last play right there, you actually had King Henry coming through and actually making a really, really good play right at the line of scrimmage. So they're full of talent here. They got, close to 20 all-star appearances across the entire defense.
The Lake Man out at quarterback for the Headhunters. They'll get things going from their own 42-yard line. Bunch formation on the field, and John, the Lake Man, will throw, and no, he's sacked. Immediately brought down in the backfield for a big loss. Jerry D. Gond, you talked about the Gonds in the pregame show, and Jerry D. shows up early.
Yeah, the Gonds can actually start to own a game, right? If everything goes right for them. As you can see, Luther putting pressure right at the middle, and Jerry D. comes around the end and kind of mixes up his the offensive lineman there and able to get the tackle. So that whole front 7 this week is going to have to be really, really strong to slow down the Houston rushing attack.
Lakeman rolls out to the right, throws over the middle. That one is caught. A nice gain on the play. Sets him up with a 3rd down and 3. Toby Bonnets with the catch for Houston.
Yeah, and that's a good way to come out after you actually get, sacked on the previous play, being able to come right back, stay true, and pick up 13 on 2nd down to make it a very, very 3rd and manageable.
High formation on 3rd down. Lakeman will throw again, shuffles to the left, decides to run, and tackled back at the line of scrimmage. 1-yard pickup, but another quick 3 and out for Houston, both teams, I should say, with a 3-and-out on their opening possession.
Yeah, and Jerry D was right on his heels, right? The Lake man was kind of running for his life a little bit there. Ran out of Jerry D's reach. But the Fort Worth defense was able to stop him and be able to get their ball back.
Flag on the return. We'll check to see what the penalty was. Returned by Henry McGee. And it will be a clipping on Fort Worth.
It'll be half the distance.
They'll be backed up to their own 7. Yep. Backed up to the 7-yard line. That's where Eric Price will come back out on the field.
Oh my God! Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Like, hey, get down! Like,
he darn sure wasn't gonna make the tackle either. The guy was just trying to spectate a little bit. And he got pushed down.
I can't see.
It was so obvious. What even trying to get further away from the ref's view? Just did it right in front of their face where the ball was.
Just rude. 8-yard catch by Robert Carey Jr. on the opening drive. Those are the only positive yards so far. And Bacon rolls forward for 8 himself as the Toros are able to gain some positive momentum. On the Houston defense, Mac Dre, Don Rohr, Alex Dominguez, and Anthony Stover are on the defensive line. How about this quadruplets? I don't know what you even call it. I was going to say trio, but there's 4. Jason Peace, Garrett Evans, Juan Mississippi, and Blake B. Craze. That's a linebacking crew right there. Dustin Sakasi, John Barnhart, Kai Cash, Guy Incognito, Al Ingram III, and Chris Henry makes up the secondary. 3rd down and 2, no gain on the play.
Yeah, look, and they're actually holding pretty strong right here too. I mean, aside from that run, JZ Bacon, that one JZ Bacon run, the Houston defense has been pretty tough on the run, especially on the first drive.
My formation on 3rd down, handed off to Bacon, hit behind the line of scrimmage and tackled for a loss. Guy Incognito says 3-and-out again.
I don't think they actually saw him coming. JC Bacon had no idea it was it. Maybe he actually was up to his name, but was Incognito and just blew the guy up. But here it is, another 3-and-out for Fort Worth.
Punt his way, drops down right at the midfield logo. And Houston will get another shot at it. Not much to speak of on first down, or on their first possession.
Wow. 13 and 8 yards respectively for each offense. Fort Worth having 2 drives. This is Houston's second right here.
Houston actually did pick up a first down on their first possession, but then was not able to do so again. See if they're able to do a little bit more this time. Great starting field position. Lakeman throws over to the right-hand side, nearly picked off. Great coverage on the play. Ben Charb's in on the pass breakup. Comes over from the Los Angeles Lycans in free agency to join this Fort Worth defense. A one-time Mexico City Aztec. Still trying to get him back. He won't have me.
It seems like he's getting close. He's working his way back.
Back in the division. One step at a time. Back to the bunch formation goes the Headhunters. Quick pass. That one looks like it was intended for Mike St. Green, just a little bit too far. Lakeman under pressure, had to get rid of that one quick.
Yeah, and they're actually sending like a lot of pressure right here, right? We've seen it a couple times from the Fort Worth defense, sending a lot of pressure, and they're actually getting through the line. So, I mean, Lakeman's going to have to find a way to actually get the ball out maybe a little bit quicker.
Lakeman under pressure again, throws. That one's incomplete. Bonnet's the intended target. But, well, I mean, you can't draw that defense up any better than that. I mean, good pressure and double coverage.
And that's the thing. I think the Lakeman actually sees the amount of, like, almost free rushers about a second and a half into his drop and is getting it out a little bit too quick, right? The offensive lineman, the offensive line is going to have to figure out, what their scheme is going to be, because of the looks right now from the defensive line from Fort Worth is giving them fits real early, especially on passing downs.
That punt rolls back into the end zone for a touchback. Eric Price back out onto the field. Only one pass attempt so far for him. It was the completion to Robert Garrett Jr. on the first play of the game. And not much sense. They've tried to get the run game going. So far, this tough Houston defense has been up to the challenge. They're going to go right back down to it. Bacon picks up 3. 2nd down and 7.
Juan, Mississippi, right? Showing what he did, right? We in the pregame show early on in the day, we actually seen Juan, Mississippi in his ball recognition and play recognition, being able to see where the ball's at and not get confused and just attack.
Tight bunch formation. That one going down to jet 0. He's only able to pick up 3. Sets up a 3rd down and 4, and the Toros still looking to get their first down of the game.
And oddly enough, right, they're looking for their first down, but they're more than doubling up the yards that Houston gained, and Houston has picked up at least a first down.
Roll out down to the bottom, throw across the middle. That one is complete. Finally getting that first down. Stephen Hacker making an appearance.
Yeah, and Stephen Hacker has been one of the best over his entire career. And he's one of those dudes that just don't wear any gloves, just like to feel a ball in his bare hands, and actually coming through right here, a very tight, throw there and getting hit right as he catches the ball. But he's about as sure-handed you can get as a wide receiver in the league.
3 receivers, tight end, and a single back in the formation. They'll hand that one off down to Bacon. Finally able to break some tackles and get some positive momentum. Picks up 7 on the play. 2nd down and 3. And finally it looks like maybe the Toros offense is starting to gel.
Yeah, look, and they were looking, somewhat in the passing area right there. It's, defense has, from Houston, and had to depend on one of their guys lining up on the end to be able to make the tackle. Oh, my God.
0 wrapped up, brought down, and tackled Garrett Evans. One of the quadruplets of linebackers?
Yeah, quadruplets. Nobody's going to have quite the linebacker collection that I had. I had like 6 of them on the roster. But
how'd that work out? I'm sorry. that was not nice.
Mediocrity. That's it. Defense was good. Offense was poor.
Another first down for the Toros. Bacon picks up a few, gets them into Houston territory.
Yeah, and they're actually chipping away, right, which is good, right? To get a big first down, which they had with, the pass to Stephen Hacker, and now they're starting to slowly chip away.
Ball is handed off to 0. Good cut back inside. Allows him to pick up 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, being able to set themselves up for success, right, on every down. They got half the yards they need right here, so they're getting themselves in a little bit of a rhythm right now, in the run game and somewhat of the passing game.
Strong eye formation. That one will go down to Bacon again. Only gets back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 5 coming up. Expect to see an Eric Price pass. There's only been 2 so far.
Yeah, look, and they haven't, when he's been dropped there to pass, they haven't had a whole lot of pressure on him either. So not compared to last week, what Houston had against their opponent.
Play action. Price rolls out left, throws left, finds his target down the left sideline. Stephen Hacker once again.
And Hacker right there, right, coming up with the catch, but it was good by the offensive line right there to be able to hold their blocks and everything else as, Eric Price is able to roll out, create a little bit more space for himself. And credit, like I said, right now to the offensive line of the Fort Worth Toros being able to hold back that pass rush that was so good last week. And Houston had 6 sacks last week.
Picture at Cade Stevens just sitting there on the wall behind the cheerleaders.
He's in the stadium.
He's definitely out of bounds there, though. Just like he was in the actual game. Oh, nice job by the Houston defense. Chris Henry gets up in the passing lane, swats that one down.
Yeah, look, and that was a very good throw. It wasn't a very good throw, but he was looking to get rid of it. Felt the pressure coming off of his blind side from Blake B. Craze and threw it, but made a poor decision. Luckily for the Toros, it falls to the turf.
Price to throw. Oh, that one nearly picked off. Right into the arms of the defender. Juan Mississippi, who had such a fantastic game last week, gets a pass breakup there.
Right, and he hit a pass breakup last week, being able to recognize the plays. But you know what? I'm kind of seeing a pattern a little bit, right? They actually trying to, they actually threw to Stephen Hacker on that one as well, right? They're starting to key on Hacker right now.
Roll out to the bottom, throw over the middle, into the end zone for the touchdown. Stephen Hacker, his third catch, goes for 6.
Yep, and guess what? Missed him on the previous play, being able to create space, letting him trail back through, on his way back to Eric Price's area. Made a little bit of a better throw, been able to pick it off, and actually very, very good drive for them.
Yeah.
After they didn't pick up a first down on their previous 2 drives, they do this one right here, been able to go down and put points on the board at home.
First points of the ball game come inside 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Extra point is up and good. A 12-play, 80-yard drive, taking almost 4 minutes off the clock. 79, but they started with a touchback, so we're going to give them a full 80 on that one.
Yeah, and it was really good after you go 3-and-out punt, right? And then being able to come through right here and put a lot more yards together, some successful plays, and being able to get there. That way they actually set the tone of the game now.
Oh, Mike St. Green returning the kick up to the 29-yard line. Dangerous kick returner. He doesn't return it a lot, but when he does, he's been known to get some touchdowns.
Yeah, and that was like almost an angry run. He just murdered a guy right there trying to get through on his way to the 30.
His first return of the season. Goes for a nice gain. So it's total yards pretty lopsided right now. See if Houston's offense can get something going.
Yeah, look, and I think it's got to start with the run game right now, because they haven't even almost attempted to run a whole lot at all.
No, you highlighted these running backs in the pregame show, and so far neither one's really been able to do much. The Lake man decides to throw a pick, and Charbs gets the interception, brings it back up to the 30.
Oh, man, the Lake man forced a throw right there. We do think that the game plan that they're going with so far isn't quite what they want to do, right? And God, because their strength is running the game, and guess what? Charbs is right there. Kind of played a little bit of a center field, sat right there. Lakeman thought he saw something, but it wasn't quite there when the ball reached its high point. And Charbs got it, and now they're actually in field goal range to start it off, and Fort Worth can actually just start to take over this game like late in the first right now.
First interception for Ben Charbs as a Fort Worth Toro, his 29th of his career. Bacon takes the handoff, picks up 3. And Fort Worth, after a slow start, looking pretty good.
Look, and what we saw last week too, as we're starting to see like Fort Worth offense kind of start to get going. Last week, Houston, when their ball, when the defenders got to the ball carriers, they were able to bring them down on the first contact. So far, they have not been able to do that with the Fort Worth players.
Going back down to the ground, Jet 0 gets 0. Kai Cash with the tackle, 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity for Houston to minimize the damage right here and try to get off the field and force a field goal attempt. Best case scenario, get a turnover. And they're playing man coverage right here. They need to keep an eye on Stephen Hacker in these situations.
Roll out to the left, throws back, crosses body to the right in double coverage. That was dangerous. Almost had to force that one into Hacker, I think. But they'll settle for a field goal try. Sophia Peaches on for the kick. No, they're going to punt.
Oh, wow. This is very strange. I get that Peaches is a rookie, but this should be well within any kicker's range. That high school kicker.
I mean, you remember Cameron Duty last season.
Yeah.
I don't want to call out my guy, but we saw some kicks. We saw some punts. It was like, Cameron.
It was rough.
Cameron, just. You know what? You guys should just go for it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, they could have brought someone out of the stands to make sure that Cameron Duty was.
I mean, I'll do it. I'll do the whole kick What's it, the punt pass kick competition?
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Fort Worth. That's points they just left out there. It's like,
points literally left on the field. Punishing tackle made by Delaney Nash. As we take a look at this Fort Worth defense, Jerry D. Gond, Jeff Gagne, Luther Gond, and Hendrik Callahan on the defensive line. Jasad Grackleflint, love that name. Jeff Spicoli at linebacker. Tavius Gordon, Adam Leach, Aiden Davis are your corners. Ben Stone, Zion Waddles, Ben Charbs, and Delaney Nash.
Wow, catch that.
Those are the safeties.
Triple coverage.
Toby Bonnet's getting an acrobatic one there.
I don't even know what to say about this pass right. There were so many people in that area, 2-3 people, and it just made its way through them all. I guess if they're not turning around looking for the ball, it's easier to catch one. But
yeah, Zion Waddles had an opportunity at that one and missed. 7-0, Toros leading at home. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith. Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston on stats. Cameron Irvine on production. First down and 10 for the Headhunters. Lakeman throws over the middle. One-handed grab by Mike St. Green.
Man, Mike St. Green with the one-handed catch. He almost looked like if he could have made a little bit of a move, he would be still running, and we could have a tie ball game. But this is what Houston needed right there. I'm pretty sure they're really glad to get that first quarter in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, leave that one behind.
They were not very good. Almost on this one play, they got just as many yards as they had the entire first quarter on that one play.
So you see the updated yardage totals at the top of your screen. Draw play goes for some nice yards. 6-yard pickup by Tino Sosa.
See, and I was just about to mention too, hey, they come out in somewhat of a spread, a single back, you know, in the backfield. I'm like, why aren't they starting to maybe try to get the run going? But here they are. I mean, they did a delayed handoff, and it actually worked pretty darn good.
2nd and 4 in Fort Worth territory, going down to Baloo Scott. Scott's able to pick up 3. 3rd down and 1. Both of these backs having decent seasons so far. Tino Sosa comes into the game 2nd in the league in rushing yards, 187 on the ground, 94 yards for Scott. She now has over 100 with that run. 3rd down and 1. They go back down to the ground. Can't get there. 4th and inches. And this might be a good opportunity to just go for it. Grackleflint with the tackle.
Yeah, he comes in there. Really good recognition. And I don't know if I like that play design. They did somewhat of a stretch-looking play. You want to run right up the middle and see if you can pick up that half yard they needed. But look, I like this call by Houston right here.
Go for it. They hand it off, and they get it? They don't.
What?
Turnover on downs. Ben Charbs gets the stop, but I would expect to see a flag thrown here. I don't think he got it.
No, I think he did get it. I think he jumped past it and was able to get it. I would, if they don't review, I would be surprised they don't review this. What is going on?
Wow, no challenge.
That's where the marker was, right there.
No challenge flag thrown. Wow. All right, well, turnover on downs. Eric Price.
Not even a challenge. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Eric Price back out onto the field now. Interesting. Hacker in motion. Down into the slot. Short drop, quick pass. That one's incomplete. Tried to get it out to the Cowboy.
And that was, I felt like that pass was a predetermined drop and a predetermined area by the quarterback and the Cowboys seeing it was there, and it just wasn't there. Luckily for them, it wasn't picked off.
You see that a lot with when the quarterback does like no drop. They just basically take the ball and throw it. You know, it's all just a timing route, and they just hope that it's going to connect. It's a boomer bust type situation. 6-yard pickup by Robert Garrett Jr. 3rd down and 4. Houston's defense hoping to get the ball back after I think everybody in Houston thought that they had got that first down.
All right, and they're playing man coverage. Houston is right here.
Price rolls out right, throws well short of the line to gain, and that one went to Hunter Jacobs, but only for a pickup of 1 yard, and it'll be a quick 3 and out for the Toros.
He had that route about 2 seconds before he actually threw it. He ran out there, would just made his cut. If you threw it there, he wouldn't have had to contend with the sideline or anything like that. You got to get those plays out a little bit earlier and have your guy make a play. He waited too long to throw it.
Hunter Josh Miller gets that one back to the 17-yard line, returned up to the 19. And Charbs just doing it all tonight as he's in on special teams. I don't blame him. I always had Charbs on the kick coverage unit. I miss it, man. He was so good. He's just so darn good. But yeah, it's only so many roster spots, though. I'd love to bring him back, but Nacho said I can't have him, so flew all the way to Texas to negotiate. He wouldn't have it,
and he was an all-star last year.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What a catch! What a throw!
Player. Yeah, beautiful pitch and catch. Lakeman finding Mike St. Green right down the seam.
Yeah, look, and that was a really good throw. It just fell right where we needed it. Hit him in stride, threw right above the corners, and just right below the safeties, right in that sweet spot right there.
First down and 10 from the 37-yard line.
Jerry D. Gond is wreaking havoc.
Oh, yeah, so's Delaney Nash. Almost got a pick.
So if those at home, if you just watch Jerry D on any passing play, he's just out. He's so fast, and the right tackle of Houston just can't keep up with him right now.
Standing up this time is Jerry D. Daisy Peace motioned over to that side, maybe to help pass protect. No, they're going to do a draw. Sosa able to pick up 4 on the play. They're down at 6 coming up.
Yeah, and you're going to see right here, I mean, they're going to have to be really strategic right here. They need to start shifting some help over to the side where Jerry D. Gond is because he's so fast.
Pass is thrown. One-handed interception is made. Tavius Gordon gets the pick.
He does get the pick, but you know what? Jerry D was around the corner again and probably had the Lake man throw the ball a little bit faster than he wanted to. He wanted to let that route mature a little bit more, but it wasn't to be. Threw a little bit flat as well. Couldn't get nothing on it as you got a guy in your face. Fort Worth has the ball back right now.
A rough start to the day for the Headhunters. Fort Worth takes over at their own 39. Another quick pass. And Garrett Jr. picks that one up. Gain of 9. It's been a minute, and we hope you haven't forgotten. It's super simple to smash that like button and help the channel out. We just crossed the 8,500 subscriber mark. So subscribe if you have not already so you'll never miss a live stream, highlight, or podcast. Thanks for your support of the Virtual Football Network and the Simulation Football League. Bacon picks up the first down and keeps this drive alive. 8,500 subscribers. That's a lot. I think I've got 13. Not 100, just 13.
I think I got... I'm in double digits too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zero gets caught up behind the line of scrimmage. Is able to get back to the line, but no gain on the play. John Barnhart gets the tackle. 2nd and 10.
See, and this is where Houston's defense has got to keep them right in a 2nd and long type situation, so they don't get in those 3rd and short situations. That makes it a lot easier for Fort Worth to be able to convert.
Price throws over the middle. Junior picks up the first down. No, they're going to say 3rd down and inches. These refs have questionable ball spotting skills.
He sure does. He had a whole body across it right there. But look, credit to Houston right there, right, for actually making the play and maybe making it difficult for the refs to actually make the call. But here's an opportunity for them right? They have, how many people they got in the box? They got 8 men in the box right here to be able to stop this run.
Price under center. Hacker in motion up to the top. And that one off 2-0. And that defense immediately getting back there. Juan, Mississippi with the TFL.
Yeah, and he's been the TFL leader on this team, being able to bring him back behind there. And guess what? It's forcing a punt. I do think if it would have been, fourth and a yard or less, I think Fort Worth goes for it. But they're down 2 yards, so they gotta punt it.
Punt is away, drops down at the 23, bounces out at about the 20-yard line. And yeah, Juan, Mississippi is not just the TFL leader of the team. He's the TFL leader of the league. 8 TFLs on the season so far through 2 games. That's good for first in the league. Same thing with his 4 sacks that he has. That is a league best. In fact, the 9 total sacks on this Houston defense is first place in the league.
Yeah, and he is actually top 4 in all of those categories. Tackles, sacks, TFLs.
Pitch to Sosa, breaks a tackle. Charbs says, get down. 6-yard pickup on the play. And, for the defensive line for Fort Worth, I know you mentioned, Jerry D. Gond, Jeff Gagne, Luther Gond, and, Callahan as well. But so far through, in game 1 anyway, only 1 total sack, a half each for the Gonds. Otherwise, not a lot of action from this D-line quite yet, but getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback tonight.
Right, and that's what it's about, right? Putting the offense in a situation that they're uncomfortable with. You don't have to get the sacks. You don't have to get all these, impressive stats. But if you put the opposing offense in an uncomfortable situation, you're going to force them into mistakes.
Ball is handed off, caught up behind the line again, and wrapped up by this D-line and stuffed. Jerry D. Gond making an impact tonight.
That's what you do. You just clog up the holes right there, make it difficult for the running back to find his running lane, and they're able to do it right here in a 3rd and short type situation to force a punt to get themselves the ball back.
Sonny J on to punt for the Headhunters. Ball drops down at the 37, returned up to the 38-yard line. Eric Price on the day now 8 of 12 for 89 yards and a touchdown. 3 targets to Stephen Hacker for 56 yards and the touchdown. Neither team has really gotten the running game going. Best of the night so far, J.Z. Bacon with his 9 rushing attempts, 27 yards. See if either team can get the running game going. And I'll take notes because I suffer the same issues. Bacon.
Wow.
Nothing. In fact, -1.
There's Jason Peace coming right there. Here they are, just adding to their TFL total, right? That they've already got, top 3 in the league coming into this week, and continue to do it right here. Look, and the thing about this Houston defense, it's actually keeping them in the game right now.
It sure is.
Because their offense has been sputtering.
Yeah, haven't been able to score any points, but they've held Fort Worth realistically to 10. Fort Worth just chose not to even try for those 3.
I still can't understand. Give that girl a shot.
Let her kick, man.
Give her a shot. Let her kick the ball.
Set Peaches free. Let her kick the ball. 2-minute warning here in the Stockyards from Fort Worth, Texas. Still 7-0. Toros out in front. This is the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Four receiver set for the Toros on 3rd down and 5. Play action.
Wow.
Price rolls out right. The defense bit on that one. Targeted Robert Garrett Jr., but the pass is broken up. And Price was like, man, what else do I have to do?
And he was a very good play action. Fooled the entire defensive line. Had plenty of time. And look, and the Cowboy can't drop that, right? Like those opportunities, especially in a game like this, divisional game early on in the season, you cannot drop those passes like that.
Miller punts away again. That one falls down at the 22. Mike St. Green, a dangerous returner up the left side. Gets it up to the 31-yard line. And that'll set Houston up with some decent starting field position.
And they need it, right? They needed some sort of a spark right there for their offense, right? And, you know, St. Green's taken in there. He couldn't, get past big number 93, but, got a little bit of a better starting field position than what they were anticipating after the punt. But they're going to have to do something here, right? A minute 45. What are they going to do? Are they going to try to air it out? Or are they going to try to mix in some runs here?
Lakeman with the draw gets that one down to Sosa, picks up 4 yards. So it looks like they might be content to just see what the run game can get them. And if it doesn't get them anything big here, then they'll just let this run to the half.
Well, I think if they get inside the 40 right here, even if it's a 3rd and short, right, they're gonna start getting a little bit more aggressive.
Scott takes the handoff this time, cuts back inside. Nice cutback. A great job by the Fort Worth defense to wrap her up. 3-yard pickup, 3rd and 2.
And that almost looked like a Fort Worth timeout there. If I actually saw it correctly, they actually called that timeout themselves. Very, very interesting.
They're down and 1. Price, quick pass. Mike St. Green has it rocked out of his hands. Ben Stone with the pass breakup.
God, they needed that catch right there. They could have been really aggressive right there to try and come away with some points before half. But look, Fort Worth very, very smart and taking that timeout, right? So now they're going to get the ball back, and they're going to maybe look to actually put some points on the board before half.
We mentioned the punt, pass, and kick competition. I think that's what this game has turned into, is mainly just a punting competition. I guess not a lot of kicking or passing so much. It's mainly the punts.
If Ron Haynes is feeding us the right stats here, that's
all he is.
Punt of the game so far, the first half. Maybe you guys like in the game had 5 punts because you guys had a very, very strong lead and were just trying to milk clock.
Yeah.
You guys may have punted it 5 times, but the other team didn't really punt that much either, I would imagine. 10 punts and a half.
Well, listen, when you got a guy on the field that's wearing a nameplate that says Punt God, you gotta let him kick.
Yeah,
just like the Toros should be letting Sophia Peaches kick. I'm still a little upset.
Yeah. Oh, he's wide open.
Yeah, quick pass complete to Hunter Jacobs, gets tackled.
What are we doing?
It gets the first down. They're going to let the clock run.
Oh, man, you got yourself at about the 40-yard line right there. Your own 40.
Yeah, they're at their own 40. They only need 50 more yards to get in Peaches range.
And maybe they don't have the confidence in Peaches.
That's why I said you got to get 50. Hey, if they get down to their own, or they get down to the Houston 10, maybe they'll trot Peaches out there. That's so wrong.
Let that girl kick.
Let her kick. Let her kick from here. See what she can do. Might be a little far from here.
At least you'll know the range. All right, she's good from about 40, right? You would know it at that point.
Yeah. Just call a timeout with 1 second left and just say Peaches. Just kick it as far as you can kick it.
And if the other guy catches it, Peaches, it's up to you to bring him down.
Yeah, Peaches, you got to make a tackle.
You got to sacrifice yourself to make sure this guy doesn't score.
Take one for the team, Peaches. Nice run on the outside by Jet Zero. We'll pick up a few, but that'll bring us to the half. So low-scoring game here in Fort Worth. The Toros out in front, 7-0 over the Houston Headhunters. So we haven't seen a lot of offense from either team, honestly. Houston will get the ball to start the second half, and we'll see what they're able to do with it. But as we head to the half and look at our first half stats and some snapshots of the half, Gerald, your thoughts on the game so far?
I think it's a little bit disappointing, right? For to come here and see Houston struggle so much on the offensive side of the ball, right? And for Fort Worth, right? We know last week they only had one score. That last week, their last game, they only had 3 points on the board, but here they have one right here. I mean, they're not doing terribly, but they're not doing overly great either, right? There's a whole lot of stuff. It almost seems like they're still trying to figure each other out right here in this game, and who knows where it's going to go from here.
Stephen Hacker, really the only player making a big impact tonight, at least offensively, as he's got the lone touchdown of the game. We get ready to get the second half started. You are watching the Simulation Football League action here on the Virtual Football Network. This week on VFN, we'll feature SFL Week 3 action today and tomorrow. Then we've got the UFL Monday and Wednesday. And Simulation Football League back in action. Week 4 starts on Friday with the Matt Wilson SFL kickoff show. No other network gives you more football. The SFL lives on VFN. Kick returned up to the 36, and you got something to say, I can tell.
So now it makes sense, right? Me in the booth sitting here eating my brisket.
Yes, sir. Halftime brisket was brought to the booth.
I figured out why they say, yeah, we're not going to let Peaches kick it in that direction, because that kick was extremely short on the kickoff right here. Their wind is blowing in their face, going as you're looking on the screen.
55 yards off the tee.
To right.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense. Not that they don't trust in good old Peaches, but
well, I hope she gets an opportunity at some point. Sosa with the first carry of the half picks up 8 yards, 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? As we actually get some stuff from the back end of the truck, we have more punts than points.
Yep, and more punts than first downs.
That's insane.
If you like punts, this is the game for you. Baloo Scott picks up a much-needed first down for the Headhunters. As their first half stats, there's not a lot of numbers to account for. Lakeman not having a great day. 4 of 11. He's thrown 2 picks, only 62 yards. Toby Bonnet and Mike St. Green, the only receivers with a catch, about 30 yards apiece. And Tino Sosa, who gets a decent carry there, only about 35 yards on the day on 10 rushing attempts.
See, and this is the type of run game I was expecting to see them start out with, right? So
yes.
it's pretty refreshing to see from a guy like me expecting something to happen, because that's what his strength is right there in the run game, that they're finally kind of, getting their offense geared toward the run.
Baloo Scott sets up 3rd and inches. We finally have the same amount of first downs as we do punts. If Houston can gain a couple inches here, we will have more first downs than punts. That's how the math works.
Yeah, and it's still more than the points scored.
Yeah. See, that's not good. Sosa picks up the inches needed. Well, you never know with the refs, but they do indeed credit Houston with the first down this time. It's a mystery. It's a mystery until you see the chain gang move, and you can't count that first.
It's crazy. But look, this is what Houston probably should have started out with. They're slowing the game down a little bit, and here we are right now. They're doing good in the run game, and they come out in the passing formation.
Lakeman, empty backfield, throws over the middle, finds DR Sim, getting him involved, and getting another first down. Big pickup for the Headhunters.
Right, get the run game going. You know what? Let's get a hold of the doctor right here and get them pulling in the one-handed catch. The Hall of Famer bringing it down and getting themselves right on the edge of the red zone. And maybe they're looking to, make these points be more than first downs or punts.
Jay Ballmer in the chat. I've never met anybody in my life that just despises Texas and Texas teams more than Jay Ballmer. Says, I don't care who wins, both teams are not going to the playoffs. My God. Salty. Lakeman sacked on the play. 2-yard loss. I didn't see who got there. It looks like it was Luther Gond.
The Gons, right, coming in right there. Looking, he's been doing his thing. Look, swim move right there, being able to get him. Quarterback trying to break the pocket, and he's right there. So very, very good defensive line play up front right now, right? They're starting to, and that's where, look, in the passing game, I think that's where Fort Worth wins in the trenches right here. It's in the pass game.
Lakeman on 2nd down, throws down to the bottom, finds a wide open Mike St. Green, whose momentum just carried him a little bit too close to the sideline, picks up 6 and steps out of bounds.
Yeah, and these are the situations right here. Now they're in a 3rd and medium-ish type down. And these passing situations, in my opinion, with the way Jerry D's been playing and the way Luther can actually play up the middle as well, I think this actually favors, the Toros here.
Sonny J warming up on the sidelines. Houston will actually let her kick. Lakeman throws, end zone. That one's incomplete. Intended target appears to be Greg Corky. And I don't want to announce it prematurely again, but I think Sonny J is on for a field goal try.
Yeah, I think Sonny J is going to come out right here. He's got 9 years worth of experience compared to the rookie. I don't know. But you got this. Peaches kicked the field goal in week 1.
Yeah. The only points of the season.
Yeah, gotta be the win.
Yeah.
Gotta be the win. Oh,
Jay's kick, is up and good. Houston gets rid of the goose egg on the scoreboard. Picks up 3 points on that drive, and granted, it's only 3. It was a much-needed 3.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, I think what killed that drive right there is that they got away from the run game. They started passing a little bit, and I know they're trying to keep it mixed up and keep the defense on their toes, but I do think if they would have stuck with the run, they may have gotten themselves in a situation to put 7 on the board as opposed to 3.
Kick returned right up the middle, gets it up to the 24-yard line, and Zello in the chat, looks like it might be Tariano Rivera, says, whenever I decide to watch a game, we start losing. I guess I got to just stick to watching the video on demand. Ray Bentley says the same thing. Like, he won't watch a game live because he thinks that as soon as he watches it live, we start to lose. I don't think they have that much influence. By their
man,
presence.
I won just as many watching it as I lost it. But of course, as you know, I lost more games than I won. But
passes tipped, picked off. Guy Incognito gets the interception off the tip drill, and Houston in great territory now to try to take the lead.
Right, look, and that's something they needed, right? Even though their offense got down, it helped them get 3. But sputting around, they played a little bit of the tip drill right there, enough to keep it in the air for Guy Incognito to grab it, and they were on fringe range right now of field goal range. And this could be really interesting right here. I think they need to get back to the run right here to try and take advantage of what they had going, last drive before they stalled.
Lakeman back under center. He will throw. Goes over the middle and finds Mike St. Green down at about the 13-yard line. Just found that soft spot in the zone and picked up the first down.
Yeah, and what do I know? Both these teams went to the playoff last year, and Houston was, in that group too. And I ain't been in the playoffs in God knows how long.
Lakeman now with 104 yards on the day.
And another passing formation. It just makes me nervous with what they're doing as they start getting closer toward the end zone here.
Three receivers to the bottom, to the top. Lakeman throws. Bottom picked off. Taken out of the end zone by by Ben Stone. Gets it up to the 10-yard line, and your fears were realized, Gerald.
Yeah, Ben Stone, being a former quarterback for the Birmingham Fuel in the minors turned DB, knows what quarterbacks think in those situations, and he took advantage of it and took away Houston's opportunity to put more points on the board.
Putbacks in the backfield now for the Toros. They'll start at their own 10-yard line. Price under center hands this one off. Bacon picks up 6. And turnovers has been quite a storyline today. Lakeman with 3 interceptions now thrown. It's been a rough night for him. Less than 50% completions. Eric Price does have 1 as well. It's part of what's kept this game such a low score. Not a lot of first downs picked up by either team, and 4 combined turnovers.
Yeah, they gotta be a little bit cleaner. Both teams got to be a little bit cleaner. I mean, that's why we only got 10 points on the board right now.
Wow. He's handed off to
What
0.
pursuit.
Yeah, great pursuit. Garrett Evans gets into the backfield. Says, no, TFL for you.
And now it's a 3rd and long right here. We're gonna see how Fort Worth is gonna, address this right here. But You know, it's man coverage from Houston here. I don't know if I like it, the way Steven Hacker's played in man coverage.
Price rolls out, well covered, and the pass is broken up. Dustin Sakasi with the coverage and a quick 3 and out. So another interception that didn't lead to anything. So, you know, Houston didn't really suffer too much. The only thing that they're going to pay here is yards lost. I mean, they were down at about the Fort Worth 10, and now with this punt, it's not going to go too terribly far.
It's a really short punt.
Yeah, drops down at the 45. MSG returns it up to the 41. So basically the interception cost them about 30 yards. But the fact of the matter is they keep getting close. You know, they got that good turnover to get them good field position, and then, you know, threw the ball away. They're just not the 3 points were midway through the third quarter.
Right. See, and that's the thing. Like I think the field position they had prior to the interception they threw on last drive was much more important than actually getting the ball back here. I think, in my opinion, because they left points out there.
Lakeman under pressure, almost throws another interception as that one falls out of the hands of Adam Leach, who was right in that passing lane. You know, and Houston was able to put up 45 points on Queen City last week. Beat them 45-9. So the defense still doing, you know, a solid job of preventing a lot of points. Fort Worth's only been able to put up 7 themselves. But the offense not able to get it together like they did last week. Lakeman finds his target this time in double coverage. Greg Corky gets his first catch of the ball game and moves the sticks for the Headhunters.
Yeah, look, and I know that's actually a big catch right there by Greg Corky, right? The 15th season vet. But man, like these last couple of drives as they started going down there, they're just somewhat abandoning their run, right? Which is their bread and butter. I mean, like you see right now, look, nothing against the Lake man, right? I love him. But he's just not, you know, so far this season in the games that they lost, he just haven't had a good game when you ask him to do a whole lot.
Blitz on its way. Mike St. Green gets the catch, picks up 9.9 second and inches.
Yeah, and look, bring out the run game right here on this one, right? Just slow the game back down, play a ball control offense. You have 2 quality backs, and Tino Sosa and Baloo Scott. Just run it.
Looks like this one might be a run. Daisy Peace in motion down to the bottom. Ball is handed off to Sosa, who picks up a bunch of yards and into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston, and they take the lead.
And that's what they needed right there to be able to get that run going. They ran about 14 yards right there on a third, a second down and really short. Right, run right there. Very good blocking, edge blocking. You know what he does? He ducks under a defender right there to kind of get himself in the end zone to get his team the lead. This is what they're going to have to do, because right now, if the way the Houston defense has been playing, they can start to slow the game down and get that running game going, everything else. They just got to stop Fort Worth from moving the ball, which they have been, right, for a good long while now. And if they can keep doing that, they could somewhat start to control this ball game.
Extra point by Sonny J is good. A 4-play, 41-yard drive resulting in Houston's first touchdown of the ball game. Gives them the lead with 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Now it'll be up to the Toros to respond. They'll start at their own 20-yard line.
In Fort Worth, for a very long while, has had a lot of 3-play drives, 5-play drives, nothing over 5 plays for a good long while since the first quarter, which was their touchdown drive.
Quick pass by Price to Hacker, trying to get him back involved in any manner possible. He'll pick up a first down on that catch.
Look, and that's what they need. They need stuff like that to sustain drives and being able to get in there. Because guess what? Your defense is going to start getting tired if they're out there all the time. If you can't be out there no more than 5 plays at a time, it's really, really difficult for them to get rest and be nice and energized to be able to shut down the opposing offense. So it's important for Fort Worth right here to actually sustain a longer drive and hopefully come away with points.
Ball is handed off to Bacon. He'll rumble forward for a gain of 6 yards. Second down and 4. And, you know, I mean, obviously it's not a situation that Fort Worth should be, you know, even considering abandoning the run or anything. They haven't gotten a lot out of it. I mean, Bacon's averaging about 3 yards per carry. Jet Zero not even averaging 2 yards per carry, but still plenty of game left. It's only a 3-point ball game. Zero just not able to get anything going with this Houston defense. Jason Peace just seats him in the backfield for a loss of a couple yards. Third down and 5.
Yeah, no, and look, he's got less than a yard and a half per carry. Jet Zero does. You definitely want all your running backs to be 3+ yards, right, per carry. You know, something that gives you a first down every third play, but not having a whole lot of luck.
Price, pressure right in his face, throws, and that one's incomplete. Tried to get it to Hacker, but he was well defended.
And that looked, to me, in real time, that looked like they might have got there a little bit early to Hacker.
I thought so.
As the ball got there, but look, no call. And it's a 4th down. Now we're watching a whole nother punt right here. And then they're punting into the wind still.
Josh Miller on the field to punt for the Toros. Houston's coming for the block, so fair catch will need to be called back at the 31-yard line as we have the official punt counter on the screen now.
It's 12. But that's the thing.
That's good math.
Yeah, but like Fort Worth, like 8 punts right now.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, they're not doing anything. Look, and part of that stuff for Houston is the 3 turnovers that they got as well instead of the punts, but still.
That's the thing. You know, you take away those 3 turnovers for Houston, and this could be a runaway game for the Headhunters.
Right. I mean, it's just like, God, Fort Worth has got to do a little bit more than what they've been doing on offense.
Lakeman starting to get some things cleaned up. Daisy Peace with the catch. She'll pick up 6, second down.
Yeah, I really do think right now with Houston being up by 3 late in the third, I do think they seem like they're actually starting to get a little bit comfortable about where they are and a little bit more confidence about where they're at offensively right now.
Sosa with another nice carry.
God,
that only picks up 2.
That's another bad spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I call it a nice carry, and I'm like, yeah, it was only 2, but it felt like more than 2. It looked like more than 2.
Yeah, he was,
because it was more than 2.
Yeah, it should be just 3rd and 1 or 3rd and inches.
Yeah,
I thought he got to the 40-yard line.
Baloo Scott in the backfield now. She'll take the handoff, hit behind the line. Guess what time it is? You guessed it. Punt time.
And it's coming out. Look, and that was a loss right there. Look, and that affects even just a yard, a bad spot, affects your play calling as a coach and actually what do you need right there. And right there to set them back. I mean, if they're a little bit closer, do they call something a little bit different?
Sure.
Right? And maybe run it with Rivera or something like that?
Saw some nice runs from Buford Van Dam in the Mexico City-Baltimore game. I mean, sometimes on those short yardage situations, it's exactly what you need. You know, the fullback typically known for just, blocking in the run game, but, they're big, heavy, strong ball carriers that can, get you those short yards that you need.
Yeah, and they can push a line back a little bit, right? Just to give you those few extra inches or even a yard that you need. I mean, it's invaluable, but once you back a little bit more than 2 yards, you're like, all right, we got to look a little bit strategically about it.
Yeah, it's not something that you'll always want to do when there's several yards to go, although Van Dam picked up 12 on his first carry. Right. It was like, I don't think anyone's expecting it. They're like, wait, he's got the ball. Oh, man. It surprised him once. That was it. But it worked. Bacon hit behind the line, and he'll be tackled for a loss of 2. Guy Incognito with the tackle. That should do it for us here in the third quarter. We'll see if they want to snap the ball.
Incognito, 10 tackles and interception on the day.
One final play. That one will go down to 0-0 with his best run of the night. This will pick up 6 yards. 3 quarters in the books. 10 minutes to go here from the Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. It's a close one. 10-7, Houston out in front. But the Toros with the ball, and on the drive, you're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith. Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston with us on Stats. Cameron Irvine, our producer, back at SFL HQ. Price rolls out right, throws, and that one's incomplete.
Not miss that pass.
Henry
it's
McGee.
Very important.
Drops it. Seasoned vet, too. Former all-star player. Missed, just simply missed. Hit him in the hands.
Man.
If you're a receiver and it hits you anywhere near the hands, you got to catch it.
I mean, it wasn't the best throw, but oh man, you got your hands on it right there. It's like you gotta pull that down.
Yeah, we just watched the replay. It was just simply a drop. Ben Charbs laying out Mike St. Green. Charbs playing very well for the Toros in his second game.
And this has got a stereotypical division game feel to it.
Welcome to the South.
Low scoring, beating each other up, right? No one can get really any kind of a really good momentum.
No, both game plans are just wrecked right from the beginning. Lakeman throws that one over to Greg Corky. I've seen both coaches in the chat talking about, why is this happening? Why is that happening? You're in the South, baby. That's why.
It
doesn't have to make sense.
No, it doesn't. look, even last season, right? You see that he 4 teams from the South get in the playoffs. Nobody wanted to win the division. It was just almost handed to.
No, we backed it. We backed it.
You guys go on to get a win a title, but
Lakeman with an empty backfield. Oh, deep pass over the middle, and that one's incomplete. Tried to hit the wily old vet, DR Sim. Double covered, second down.
Look, and you can see the offensive output by these two teams in the second half so far. 23 total yards for Fort Worth in this second half to 131 for the Houston Headhunters. So I wish Houston would just run the ball and try to slow this game down. They could take over this game.
Tino Sosa with 54 yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry, but not getting a lot of opportunities. Lakeman throws. That one's caught, and he's gone. Toby Bonnets into the end zone. Touchdown.
Ben Stone had an interception earlier, being right there where he needed to be. He took a chance right here. When you take a chance like that, you better get a hand on the ball as a defender, especially when you know that there's no one else behind you for help. And what he does, takes it. Bonnets takes it, doesn't miss it, takes it in. And now this becomes a 2-score game. Houston is in very much control of this game now, especially the way this game has been going since Fort Worth has scored that touchdown in the first quarter.
The rookie receiver gets his second career touchdown. That one his longest, 55-yard touchdown catch for Bonnets, now tied with Greg Corky for 2 touchdowns apiece on the season. And the second half yardage, I mean, not even close. 186 to 23 now. We'll see if the Toros are able to respond, but now down 2 scores.
Yeah, Fort Worth is in a little bit of trouble right now.
I'd say a lot.
You know what I mean?
I'd say a lot. It's tough in the fourth quarter if you're down 2 scores to try to get back into it.
You know, especially when you haven't been getting down there as consistently as you would want anyway. I mean, they haven't even been anywhere near field goal range since they punted going into the wind.
Dude, we don't even know what field goal range is. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I mean, we legit don't know where they need to get for a field goal.
Well, I mean, we know Sonny J can boot one in from about 30-plus yards, but not so much for Peaches.
Peaches is currently being kept in a can. She was put there by Nacho.
She came out. She comes out for kickoffs and at least 1 extra point. But
I know some old people will get that reference. But
canned peaches.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't eat peaches, but
Price, quick pass to Hacker. And a needed catch too. They need to keep this drive going. Only the second first down picked up for them here in the second half.
Like, and look, and they're going to need more of that right there if they want to get back in the game.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And we can't have them, you know, just.
Lakeman got it. Hacker, 81 yards on 5 catches. I knew he was an old guy. They're going to stick to that run game. Bacon picking up 7. And I respect that. You know, I talked about it in the third quarter about how, you know, you don't want to abandon the run. But now maybe you do. I mean, Bacon still only averaging about 3 yards per carry. 0 really not getting much of anything going. Price has played decent. He's got a touchdown pass, only 1 pick, completing more than half his passes. And you got to score quick because you got to give your defense time to get you that ball back.
See, and that's the thing, and they got to be strategic with it, right? Like, look, if you want to run the ball, that's fine. But you have to have a little bit more sense of urgency, right? And you have to almost, plan it out and guarantee, hey, look, what you're doing right now, if you want to take a little bit of a slow pace, you have to say, all right, everything's 4 down territory for me going forward. I don't know if they're thinking that way, but it's something they really need to start thinking about if they're actually going to play it, at a little bit of a slower pace.
Possible mismatch down at the bottom, but they're going to hand that one off to Bacon. I saw them move Robert Garrett Jr. down into relatively open space, but they stick to the run. 7-yard pickup, 2nd down and 3. 7 minutes to go in the game.
That looked more like 5 yards. I don't know. I guess he got 7. I didn't really see it.
I mean, I saw the ref on the sideline with dice, and when he rolled it, he's like, "They got 7." It's okay. I guess maybe he just rolled a 7. I don't know.
I don't know. But
first down.
Yeah, first down, being able to pick it up. They're slowing it down, right? They're being efficient with the time that they have, right? They got the ball at about, roughly with about 8 minutes left. So they're not doing too bad right now, especially if they go down and get some points.
Stick down to the run again. Go back down to Bacon. He'll pick up 3. As a 2 and a 1 were rolled.
Yeah, look, and they're trying to. It's working, right? They don't. I don't know. Like, and here they are. It's like, I mean, you would call this a run formation, right? If I was not a smart man, which I'm not, and there it is at TFL.
Garrett Evans in the backfield before that ball was even into Jet Zero's hands.
Wow, they just played themselves in a terrible situation at 3rd and long here. And now they're forced to throw.
And that's not the situation you want to be in. You want to be able to pass on your own terms, not out of necessity. Price under center. Takes the ball, straight drop back. Looks, has time, fires into triple coverage and nearly picked off.
Pick.
Yeah. Tipped and bobbled around. Kai Cash in on it, as was Dustin Sikossi. And it's a 4th down, and I mean, this ain't field goal range.
I mean, it might be. I mean, they got some win.
Are you kidding me?
Got some win at Peach's back right here, right? They might give her a shot. No, they're not giving her a shot. They're just bringing out the punter and they'll kick it. See, but the way they played that, they had to, the way they were playing it was a little bit slow pace, and they had to come away with points there.
They really did. And not a great punt as that one bounces out at the 21-yard line. We've got a game update from SFL HQ. Cameron Irvine, take it away.
Thank you, Mike. Tight one in Arizona. 13-10, Vancouver up with 6:16 to go in the 3rd. And Ashley Jackson finds T to Queen for her first touchdown of the season. You'll see it right here. That touchdown passed former Vancouver Legion quarterback Tom Pepper for 6th all-time in touchdown passes in league history. Arizona leads Vancouver 17-13 in the 3rd. Back to you.
Tom
Thank you,
Pepper.
Cam.
How many people in this league now know that name?
Yeah. Now you're the old guy.
I know.
But I know him too, so dang it. At least we have John Lakeman to be old with us.
Yep.
Sosa with a nice pickup there. 3rd down and 3, and this Fort Worth defense needs to get the ball back right here, or I just simply don't think they'll have time to get 2 touchdowns.
See, and we're going to see a lot of what we just saw right there. What we're going to see is a lot of runs from Houston right now. And that front 7 of Fort Worth is going to do something right now.
Blue Scott in the backfield. Rivera, the fullback. Lakeman will throw, quick pass, and that one's way over the head of DR Sim. And Gerald, not only does that bring up a 4th down, but it stops the clock. A free gift of a timeout to the Toros.
I don't like that call at all in that situation, right? You run it, you keep the clock running, even though if you don't pick it up, right? But look at what they're doing on 3rd down. They only have one 3rd down converted all game. They're somehow winning the game by 2 scores.
Fair catch called for back at the 40-yard line, I guess. My guy was at the 38. His wrestler's just like, there's right there. That's fine. It's enough.
They're just making it up.
They are
man.
mailing this one in, man.
Maybe they got a belly full of brisket like, I gotta go home.
Yeah, they were all at Bucky's pregame and just got filled up on gas station brisket, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's see what the Toros can do. They're going to stick to that run. They are very committed. Price hands it off to Bacon. He picks up 3.
God, man, we gotta do something better. They're gonna start having a sense of urgency and going a little bit better. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you have the talent in the receiving core to do it. You got the Cowboy as your tight end. You got Steven Hacker, future Hall of Famer.
Price under pressure, breaks free of the sack, throws to Robert Garrett Jr. in double coverage, and it's incomplete.
Look, kudos to Price for staying up, but man, he threw a pass and it was dangerous. And now they're in 3rd and long again. And look at these 3rd down conversion, the 3rd down efficiency of these teams are just
4 of 15
terrible.
for the Toros. It's not good. You know, I didn't even like it when I was at 50%.
Yeah, you were
Price.
complaining.
Yeah, it's not good. Hey, Hacker with the catch. Gets it inside the 40-yard line, tackled at about the 36. And a sense of urgency would behoove the interests of the Toros.
Right? Stop just getting happy on the sideline. Tell your teammates to go a little bit of tempo right here because they need it. Look, and this experienced coaching staff right now, I'm thinking, like, why are they not going a little bit quicker? We're running out of time. Like, you cannot play. Look, and now they're going to break the huddle and kind of run to the line. It's a little bit late right now. You should have done that on your last drive.
3.5 to go, and they're going to hand that one off. Bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Jet 0 just not. This is a game you can forget. 17 rushing attempts for 30 yards. They'll hurry back to the line now. Price, short drop, quick pass, overthrown, incomplete. Off a shoe again. Somehow, like 6 passes have bounced off shoes and nearly been picked. Some of them have.
I mean, it just haven't been efficient at all. Like today, like the quarterback play has not been great. Look, credit to the opposing defenses, right? Forcing them into situations that they don't want to be in, which increases the mistakes. But man, look at
Price under pressure. Good pickup by the defensive line. Or going to be by the offensive line. Hacker gets the 1st down catch up to the 20.
And there I was saying, look at this, because he was coming off the edge. Good pickup.
Price up top, nearly intercepted. Kai Cash in the way. Fort Worth has run 70 plays in this game. They've had 17 3rd downs and 10 punts. It's just wild numbers.
Yeah, they have not been the Fort Worth team I expected coming in after, a week 1 loss and having a lot of time to prepare.
27 of their plays are either 3rd down play or a punt. That pass complete, breaking tackles. Hunter Jacobs gets his 3rd catch down to the 9-yard line. Price drops back, throws to Hacker, caught at the 5, breaks his way up to the 4, 124 yards on the day.
I would feed Hacker.
I would too. Price, short drop, throws to Hacker, complete. 3rd and goal.
Do it again.
At the 1. Do it again, says Gerald. Price rolls out left, looks left, fires left, caught. Robert Garrett Jr. gets the touchdown, and the Toros are an extra point away from a 3-point ball game. Great drive.
Yeah, kept the hurry up going right there. Had that sense of urgency we've been talking about for about 10 minutes of real time, and it had everybody looking. Hacker right there. Me yelling from the booth saying, "Do it again, do it again." You know what they do? They find the Cowboy on a rollout. Very, very big touchdown. Very much needed. But now we're going to see pending this extra point right here, are they going to onside this?
Oh, yeah,
because they have essentially, with a 2-minute warning, 4 clock stoppages at their disposal.
Yeah.
Right? And are they going to kick it deep, or are they going to onside it? Looks like they're kicking it deep.
They will indeed. Sophia Peaches with the extra point and ready to kick this one off. Kicks it deep. Nice kick. Returned by DR Sim up to the 30-yard line. 2:18 to go. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. 2-minute warning still at hand. Fort Worth will not start calling timeouts until after the 2. I would imagine Houston will just stick to the ground here and hand this one off to Sosa.
It depends. For me, if I'm a coach, I would see what we get on first down, what we stop them at a first down as a defense, and then decide from there whether I'd call a timeout.
Lakeman hands it off to Sosa. Hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. I'd call a timeout.
I would call a timeout right here, right? Because that starts to set the tone right there. It's like, all right, hey, look, we got them behind the chains a little bit here. No yards gain. I would have called that timeout.
2 minutes to go here in this South Division slugfest. The Headhunters out in front, 17-14. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Anything could still happen in this one, Gerald. John Lakeman under center. He's got 3 interceptions thrown on the day. Spot on at 50% completion percentage. Tino Sosa in the backfield, averaging 4 yards per carry. Picks up more than that there. Stopped after a 7-yard pickup, and the first timeout called by Fort Worth.
Yeah, and you can see the Lake man in the chat saying, "Run it, please." No, his day has not been his day.
Yeah, he's like,
right?
Just keep it on the ground.
Keep it on the ground right here. But Fort Worth has an opportunity.
Sosa hit after a short gain, but they'll actually say no gain on the play. Second timeout called, 4th down. So Sonny J on to punt for Houston, and Fort Worth's going to get a shot at it. But what is Sophia Peach's range? Like, I know we've been making light of it, but now I'm serious.
Yeah, we don't know. Look, and that's the thing. Like if they didn't give it an opportunity to go in the opposite direction on a really short field goal, which would have been for experienced kickers, what a
chip shot,
30 to 40 yarder.
Yeah, I think the line to get to, honestly, realistically,
that'd be 25.
I was gonna say the 20.
You know what I mean?
So I guess between the 20 and 25 is the target, just a tie.
And you can tell from the way she's been kicking the ball off, she gets it about to the 10. So her leg is not quite as strong as I'm sure they want it to be. So we're thinking inside the actual 30.
Yeah. Definitely.
Minimum.
Yeah. I'd say inside the 25.
Realistically, I'm thinking the 25.
They're going to stick to the ground.
Well, then you would call a timeout.
Yeah, 1 yard loss, and now they're going to keep that timeout in their pocket.
So strange.
I would expect they'll probably take it to the sky here. Obviously, they want to be the last team to score, but you got to get in range.
Yeah, but
score.
No, there hasn't been a whole lot of scoring going on here. I mean,
not so much.
I don't know.
So Price will roll out to the right, throws middle. Robert Garrett Jr. down to the 45.
Oh, why?
Minute 9 to go.
Why are they letting the time run? You don't want the time to run out. You'd like at least go tempo. I mean, I like the lineup right there, right? You had what you needed. Had somewhat of a man coverage, had a high safety. Being able to pull the tight end right up underneath and have him catch the ball.
Any turnover at this point ends the game. Price needs to keep it clean. Split spread formation. They'll hand that one off to Bacon. He'll only pick up 2. 45 seconds to go.
I don't like the clock management.
Yeah, they're settling for a field goal, but they're still not in field goal range.
Yeah, look, I mean, at minimum, look, if we're guessing on Sophia Peaches' range,
20 yards.
Yeah,
they
got to get 20 more yards, and they're not even really close right now, and they're running out of time.
Price throws down to the bottom. Hacker gets the blocks he needs.
He's got inside 25.
And they'll hurry back to the line.
So it's a Heidi game in it or something.
Gets up to the 24. Price rolls out left. has time, throws, tipped, and incomplete. Clock stopped with 13 seconds.
Yeah, right there, Blake B. Craze and kind of coming right there and getting his hands on the football as he drops back in coverage. You know, and that was him on the previous play that was on Stephen Hacker, be able to cover him, and he just allowed him to kind of just twist right out of it, allowed him to get right here in this range. Fort Worth needs to be really careful about what they're doing with the ball right here.
Price under center. 2 receivers up top and bottom. They throw down to the bottom, get it to McGee. And they'll call their final timeout.
Do you bring out?
You got it.
I mean, you have to now because you
it.
called this timeout. You're going to bring out Sophia Peaches here to potentially tie this ball game up.
31-yard attempt from the left hash. Does Peaches have the range? Good snap. Good hold. Kick is on its way, and it's through.
She made it dramatic.
Peaches, why you got to do that to us?
I thought it was going to hit the upright, but she squeezed it right in the left upright.
I thought it was just going wide left, and then it started curving in. I'm like, maybe, maybe. Whew.
Look, what a they needed 2 scores in the waning minutes of this game, and they did it.
Well, let's see this kick return because DR Sim's been known to bring it to the house from time to time. Not today, though. 1 second to go in regulation. I would imagine we'll just see a Tino Sosa handoff here and then head to some extra innings.
I would hope so, but knowing the way this game's been going, they've done some unorthodox things.
It's true. It's the South, man. That's what we do.
It's chaos.
At minimum. Yeah, Lakeman's going to throw. Watch him throw a pick six. Oh, boy. I thought Sim was about to get that one.
I thought Sim was going to catch that roll off and be off to the races. But here we are. Free football for everybody.
Free football.
Wow.
4 quarters wasn't enough, Gerald.
No, wasn't enough. Look, credit to Fort Worth for hanging in there. And we were saying, hey, look, they need a sense of urgency. They knew what game plan they wanted to go with going in there offensively, and they actually executed what they needed to, trusted in that defense to get the stops, and they did it, and able to get the points they needed to force an overtime.
All right, well, 4 quarters in the books. Who knows how many to go? Infinite, in fact. First score wins. No ties in the Simulation Football League. Arguably one of my favorite things about the Simulation Football League. There should be no ties in any sport ever. No ties.
No,
there's a winner and a loser. Fort Worth's offense tonight in the last 2 drives, 114 yards. The first 13 drives, 208 yards. So in 2 drives, they got more than half the yards.
But I guess it's true. Better late than never.
Yeah.
Maybe they had too much brisket and just finally got, their food settled and everything else, able to get that energy.
Probably like a team outing to Buc-ee's. I'm telling you, it's not good. You shouldn't do it.
Yeah, but they love their Buc-ee's.
It's so overrated.
Up in here.
I'll stop. It's a Fort Worth game. I can't do that to them. Yay, Buc-ee's.
I like the Buc-ee's. I like the Buc-ee's. I like the Buc-ee's brisket. It's really good. When I'm passing through, dude, every Buc-ee's I pass by when I'm traveling, especially down south, I have to stop. I don't care if I saw one 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, their 87 octane is great. It burns in the engine. Good. All right, let's see what Houston can do. Lakeman. Oh, he's coming out swinging. Tries to hit Mike St. Green over the middle. That one was well defended by Delaney Nash. Pass is broken up. Now both teams over 300 yards apiece. It took us a while to get there.
Yeah, look, and it took everything toward the end, right? And Houston, they got a little bit conservative, but that's what the game dictated that they did toward the end, right? So just Fort Worth picked it up offensively, able to put 10 points on the board late.
Lakeman throws again.
What a catch by Sim.
Yeah, double coverage again, but Lakeman has no fear. 3 interceptions. He's like, I don't care. I'm gonna just throw it anyway.
Dude, he's like, hey, I got a Hall of Fame guy right there that's got 20+ seasons on all these young kids out here. Not anybody calling anybody really kids, but he's got 9 seasons in the league over anyone in the Fort Worth secondary.
And that was a great route too by Sim. The cuts that he made just had the defense just discombobulated, and Lakeman knew exactly where he had to put that pass.
Yeah, Sims, best of all time.
Lakeman going to continue throwing. Nope, he's going to take off and run with it himself, and the defense says, no, Gond says, Lakeman, you're not that fast.
Well, look, and I tell you what, one thing that Houston has done, in the second half of this game is being able to hold Jerry D in check off the end in these passing situations. So they've been doing pretty good in this second half of the game. They made good adjustments there.
Sosa in the backfield to put Greg Corky in motion. He'll be in the slot up to the top. At their own 43-yard line. Lakeman rolls out right, throws deep down the left, and that one's incomplete. Adam Leach with the pass breakup, almost trying to force feed DR Sim at this point, now a 3rd and long.
I saw him just sit back and wait a while and look deep, and he threw deep, and it just got knocked out the way from from Sim getting even getting a hand on it. But very big 3rd down for both of these squads.
Corky in motion once again. Fort Worth anxious to get a shot at it themselves in overtime. Lakeman and the Headhunters trying to keep this drive going, and they do. Mike St. Green, he's had a relatively quiet night comparatively speaking to some of his normal highlight reel making games, but that one the biggest catch yet, now with 89 yards of the 259 thrown by Lakeman.
Yeah, Lakeman kind of throwing a little bit of a crawl with his body right there, but
yeah, dangerous pass.
Yeah, St. Green just having positioning over the DB right there and being able to pull it in, and they're still in a passing. I would have think they would run at this stage.
I know. Lakeman, he says, all right, bet. Gets in field goal range and is tackled down at the 22-yard line. Decided to take it himself.
Now, I will say right here, this is if they're kicking it, they will be kicking it into the wind going in this direction right here. So are they fully in Sonny J range? We don't know, because around this same spot.
Offense out there.
Sophia Peaches was not even allowed to attempt a kick. Oh,
Lakeman, he's going to pass. Throws, and it's nearly intercepted. Damon Simeon, he said his heart rate was 87. I bet you it's not now.
No.
That's no way. Not after that pass.
And Ben Stone almost picked off another one of the passes to end the Houston drive right there. So they need to be really, really careful right there.
They just want to get it inside the 20. They're going to hand this one off. Sosa gets it inside the 20 and more, up to the 15-yard line. And Sonny J is ready now.
I think you kick it right here.
No, Lakeman still no. Okay, all right. Yep, Sonny J on for the 32-yard field goal try.
Because if something happens right here, they fumble it, they could fall on it, and guess what? They still retain possession.
Kick is on its way. It's in and good, and Houston wins in overtime on the opening drive. Fort Worth doesn't even get a shot at it, and that will be it for us here from Fort Worth. Week 3 continues tomorrow, headlined by the undefeated Albuquerque Adams at the 1-0 Denver Nightwings at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Other action, which begins at 6:30 Eastern, includes Carolina-Pittsburgh, Sin City-Bossier City, and Charleston, Florida, right here on the Virtual Football Network. That, my friend, was South Division football. 2017, Houston gets the win. Your final thoughts?
Look, and we actually thought toward the end, right? Look like Fort Worth had the upper hand early on.
Yeah.
And Houston was kind of stumbling upon themselves, but Houston was able to come back and scored 17 unanswered points, right, to put themselves in a 2-score lead late in the 4th at that. And then Fort Worth, right, because it's the South, come back, does stuff that people didn't think they were going to do, forced overtime. Houston does what every team wants to do in overtime: get the ball, don't allow your opponent to get it, put the points on the board, and end the game.
Houston will improve to 2-1 on the season. Fort Worth falls to 0-2. Houston heads into the bye week, and then they head to Albuquerque to take on the Adams in Albuquerque. That's going to be a big one, Gerald, on Monday, August 11th. Divisional game, of course, so more South Division football in a place that Albuquerque has never lost. Fort Worth, they're going to be here in the Stockyards next week. They will host the Oklahoma City Renegades.
And don't sleep on those Renegades.
Don't sleep on the Renegades. They did lose earlier today, but looking a lot better than they did in their return to the league. last week. They got a nice win and kept it competitive against Detroit today. I expect them to get some more wins as this season progresses. So 4 more games tomorrow. A lot of great football left this weekend, so make sure you tune in and enjoy. And UFL football leader on the week on VFN as well. This has been a presentation of the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. For Gerald Smith, Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who's always with me in spirit, I'm Mike Daggs. Thanks for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy, and have yourselves a great night.